check, radio check. Work is in the AO. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the stream. Glad you can join us today for another round of Motorsport Manager. Now, before we go into the thick of things, I would like to apologize that I was unable to stream yesterday as it was originally planned. Unless you saw the tweet, I did have some issues with some wisdom tooth pain earlier, just before the stream, but after a bit of a double check, it was apparently worse than that. I almost had a bit of the flu bug, mostly. Some early signs of a stuffy nose, scratchy throat, fever, bit of a headache. Thankfully, I had some anti-flu medication on hand, and since it was only just the early onset signs of a really bad winter flu, so to speak, we managed to stop it before it got worse. After a good night's sleep and a couple of sour soup, sour broth more like, sour broth meals, I think I'm okay enough to start streaming. So I gotta get back into it before we take another rest tomorrow because it's the mandatory rest period for the month, or for the week rather. Guess that's for tomorrow. So a bit of a recap. Last time we managed to actually get better results for our team in the 2027 season. Mostly because of luck, of course. We were expecting to have a lot more race sets just to get some better scoring in the races, but thankfully our drivers managed to survive and run through the what do you call that? Actually get some better points from both of our drivers, and now the team is back on target to meet the chairman's expectations by the end of the season. Unfortunately, both of our drivers are still pretty low in the standings, and we can't really do much since we can't really go further unless we actually get both of our drivers on the score sheet in every race. So if things continue where only one driver is in the score sheet and the other is well behind, we won't be able to maintain our standings for the rest of the season. And remember, we're halfway behind the current race leader, who is pretty much ahead of everybody else. So we have a lot of work ahead for us, and we're still only halfway through the season. There's probably 6 more races to go to, so let me just set something up here real quick. Okay, now let's head back into it and go for the calendar. Okay, yeah, we're on the second half of the series, and now we have to worry about Guildford. Now we're pretty much 50-50 on Guildford, at least in the last 2 seasons where we were last 2 European Racing Series seasons. In the Asia Pacific Super Cup, we didn't really have a lot of fun runs with this one. No. Top speed is crucial. Everything else is stock, so no need to worry about that. We're not making any more engines, though. We've already set up our illegal engines for next season, so we can use them for build-up after the season is over, and we are building up our next year's car. Now, fuel burn won't be much of an issue, thankfully. No need to worry about getting a bit slower on the pits for that. But tire wear is going to be very, very high. That is where we are very worried, because we're only using softs and super softs, which means we need to be very focused on getting soft tires. Now, they're expecting the race to be sunny and practice to be wet, which means that the performance of whichever tire we'll be using, or whichever slick tire we'll be using, will not be at max, or has a very high chance of not reaching max. It's going to be a real problem. Still have 3 weeks until the cup begins, at least. See, this is the one we're looking at. Like, last time we were in the Ardennes, remember? We managed to get Judovic in. We managed to get Perez in top 1, which is how she got her 10 points, and that puts us up on the standings again. Unfortunately, Judovic missed getting 6th because Balkan was ahead by a second, and now she finished that in 7th, meaning no score for her. When we went to Berlin, Judovic managed to score her second third place finish, but Perez was 4 seconds behind Kostrup, which pretty much kept her from the scoring sheet again. Now, if we want to get better, if we want to keep our standing at least until the end of the season, we have to ensure that both of our drivers keep getting points. And by keep getting points, ideally they should be both on the scoreboard at the end of each race. Doesn't matter if they're on top or not, as long as they get the money, or as long as they get points each, and we stay on above third, we're good. But ideally, I also need to get my sponsor bonuses so we can get some more money out of that. For example, we can get... Oh, gripes. Trans-Antarctic is almost about to leave us. Unless they sign up for us again. La Roca is also about to leave us. I don't know who's going to replace them. They don't have a fixed payment, but they did give us 1 million of an injection. Now we're going to run it through. Heading for Guildford for this one. Renee. Molian AMR. That's Endurance Cup team, right? And that's a GT one. Alright, repairs are done. We're improving the performance of the illegal parts as we speak. Once that's done, we can improve the reliability of that one, and then we can focus on getting these remaining parts fixed up so that Jessica Legg can get some more stats up on her stars. She's doing decently okay, mostly. Her concentration and reliability are great. It's just her parts fixes aren't exactly top notch right now. Her her driver chemistry is decent, being halfway and all that, but she still needs to work up on her pit stops. I mean, she's lower than Takanabe in terms of pit stop ratings, but I'm pretty sure Takanabe's stats are not exactly coming up on peak. Yeah. Leg still has 2.25% growth compared to Takanabe's, who only has 1.4, which is why its leg is much better in terms of getting the pit stops back up. Any hoot? What's on the roads for this one? Performance focus. Ooh. Not again. No, I don't have the money for that. Sorry, Chief. They keep offering me this, but I don't really get anything done right with that. Are you laying that with what? Oh, meditation. BRS driver Asumpcio Ario Leonet has revealed that she has begun meditating to help relax herself before a race. I met the Swami while I was traveling around India. He really turned me on to meditation and the way to your mind. Some drivers out there might like to sit in the simulator, but some might like to just go to sleep. But I find that meditation is the best way to keep my nerves down. And that's very good for focus, which means it could also help us get her rolling better in practice, although it's going to be temporary. How long is this going to last? 19 weeks. I think that's good enough to keep our keep her in the run for focusing during pit stops, maybe? Okay. Improve the performance of these parts. Yeah, okay, let's go with that for now, and then we'll switch out everything after. Currently second in place. That's currently better than the original target of third, which makes the chairman happy. Oh, that was quick. 23 laps. That means 1 lap race, which will be good for our tires. But the chance of a 20% chance of rain is what concerns me. Usually, when they show some lower numbers for rain, the rain forecast, it suddenly gets really, really wet, which is what I'm afraid of. Very high chance we'll have to do a restart in this one. Fortunately, Octane has more powerful engines than us right now, and they're pretty much on top of the sheets, which is going to be a real problem. They have really good drivers as well, which is going to be annoying. Then we'll have to focus on sauce, of course. Okay, our marketability. Yeah, we need to improve our race performances so our marketability can go up. The chairman is really concerned about that, which I am also concerned about. Fortunately, we can't do anything about that unless we can get better results, which is why we might have to do some restarts if we get worse results than we are expecting to. Ugh. Ozu has now gotten ahead overall than us, which is going to be an issue. But we might be able to wreak out a win still. Yeah, chairman's concerned. I mean Octane's gonna struggle. Okay, it's all Octane and the Pre-Race gossip, but they're supposedly about to struggle in this race. So on one hand, she's confident she can maintain her lead over Balkan. On the other, she's possibly gonna struggle. I don't get it. Okay, now we're in Guildford. This is going to suck, I fear. I wish we could get better ones on the driving lines. Ooh, Drivich is now 3 stars out of 4. That's good. Alright, let's save it up here before we get into the thick of things. And then, of course, go for second or above because we're crazy and that's the best way to get back some money. We need to get our drivers up there. The fact that we are now third overall in engine specs is a bit worrying, though. But as long as we can keep our drivers on the scoreboards, we're good. That's what we need. But I expect to have some restarts. Oh, dang it. Kidding me, right? That is so not good. Let's use some inters for this leg. Much as I'd like to keep the soft tires up first. If it keeps being wet like this for a long time across the practice line, we won't be able to do much. So we'll have to stick to inters for the time being. And away we go. 12 minutes of practice as is the usual. Thankfully, both of our drivers are good feedback ratings, which makes most of these practice runs worthwhile. Ugh, so wet out there. Looks like it's gonna ramp up around the 9-minute mark too. Good thing we went out on the inters then. I know Gulyas is right to stick to softs, but I feel like if we I feel like it's still going to be rainy on race day itself, even though they're projecting it to be a bit sunnier. So having inters at the ready sounds like a good idea. And there's probably going to be enough time to at least get softs to level 1 so we can get some performance out of that. Probably. Here's hoping. And now starting a flying lap. Arrow is fantastic so far. At least we got the arrows decently. Now we need to worry about speed balance and handling. The Leonette's still on purple, but I doubt she's gonna keep that, especially with... Ooh, Gulias isn't having a lot of fun. Postop as well. Yep, it's gonna dry out before the 6-minute marker, so I think we can switch out tires by then. We can at least get the intermediates up to level 1. Oh, it's Judovic at the last second, getting ahead there by only 0.04 of a second. That's actually a quick snatch up on the home stretch. Everybody else has also gone for inters except for Kostrapkos and Koi, which is a bit on the brave side of things. Wetness is going to drop around the 6-minute marker, so we can probably switch up around that. Ooh, Leonette's already slowing down though. Judovic getting left behind on the straights is weird. Four-tenths of a second ahead on scores still, though. Oh, it's a bit of a split-up now. It's now Adayu Leonette that gets ahead on the 4/10. Now, it's still going to be wet after the 6-minute marker. Looks like we'll have to keep the inters up. Really happy with the gear ratios. I've been getting nothing but positive feedback from the setup. I don't like this. It's usually like lines like that that means that there's something that might be in need of fixing, but we can't get a clue on it because the drivers are just being a little positive. Ah, both of these guys are now in level 2. Sounds like a good thing. But I feel like it's going to be really annoying. They're going to be slower here because it's the dampness is now going down. And I feel like we're going to be overtaken by Koi and Kostrop. Oh wait, no, they're going for end laps. We're going to have to switch to wets after this, I think. Okay, that's their in lap now. Audio Lanenet. Still ahead of Judovic for that one. Her best lap is still 1 minute 17, though. Going to switch over to wets for a bit. I should be thankful that we don't have to worry about qualification in the ERS right now. Qualifiers rather in the ERS right now because our parts are still awful. And if I want to go up into a series that it does have qualifications, I need better parts. And just as I expected, some of these parts definitely need some fixing up. Downforce still needs some work. Probably gonna have to increase downforce a bit, just a bit. And switch the tires up. Switch the tires up to wets. Keep the stints. See if the change to the downforce does anything. Rio Lanette's a bit on the other side, though. Guess a bit of a harder understeer would be nice. And then switch over to wedge as well. We only got 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Let's see if we can actually get something out of this. Should've going out in wets. Race trim is at least up to level 3, which is nice, but with only inters coming up with some decent points out there, I don't think we're going to be able to do anything here. Just a bit more, we could have also gotten the inters to level 3, but we pushed our drivers a little too much, so. It is wet as heck out here. I'd be annoyed if it's wet in practice, but it's so dry out in the race proper. Because most of our riding will be awful. Okay, there was too much downforce tweaking there. That's a problem. Should have been a bit lower, I suppose. Both of them have downforce errors. Dang. Can they make it back in time? No, I don't think they're going to be able to do anything. Okay, handling is worse, but the speed balance has now become excellent. So I think we can get something out of that. Okay, a little less on down. Should be it. 10 seconds on the switch out. Yeah, Ariolenet's downforce is the only thing that's an issue right now, though, so we can probably still do something about that. Okay, see if this works. We better have enough time to at least get the wet tires to level 1. Okay, level 1 wet tires, but not enough time to get the numbers out. Dang shame. At least both of them have some high setup knowledge out there. Ooh. Well, I thought they'd bring out their umbrellas if it was wet. Hang on. Eto sano sa. Alright, that's 2 greens and a purple. I'll go with that. Very happy with that result. Dang. Goliath's finished 4th, very high. Oof, there it is, it's cloudy. I expected as much. We'll have to stick to the slower tires for now. Unless things change, then pretty much out of it. We're going for, hang on, let me check the weather. Not good. So just on the safe side, I'm giving them the intermediates. Pit stop Guru and race trim for Perez though. The downforce wasn't good enough. Keep him in softs. Can't get much performance out of that, I'm afraid. Drop it to 14 laps since we're going to be switching around probably lap 12 or 13. I should drop it to... yeah, probably around that. Drop it down to 13 laps of fuel so they'll be a bit lighter. Just a bit. Oh yeah, to just downforce again. So it's 16.4 on the downforce. How do we increase it further down? It's 15.6 maybe. Tire choice will be soft. Fuel will also be 13. So here's hoping it actually works. Engine modes will be high for both of them. I know the fuel burn will be a bit lower at least, so we'll go with that. Okay, we're sticking with Perez for this one, since she's technically higher at third right now. Away they go. Ugh, not good. That acceleration run was bad. Now Perez got left behind. Judovic is in traffic and stuck at 16th. A bit of a tight squeeze at the starting lane for Guildford here. Not really a lot of overtaking early on in the race, as you can clearly see. Lots of braking. Trying to avoid crashing so much so far. It looks like Chu is currently on top for Silva. Now remember, Chu used to be one of the Dragon Race Team top drivers, but he's been jumping around for the past few seasons. I think he's already in his retirement arc, so to speak. Oh, Mazzoncini snatches second from Funker out here. Pretty quick drop from the Argentinian. That's both Octane drivers in no, it's Archer actually. Archer's Druvish and no, not Druvish. Walk and Kostrup. Wait, no. It's Conclave and wait, what? No, that's Conclave and yeah, Conclave and Kostrup. Wait, no, Conclave and Mock. Conclave and Mock are 13th and 14th respectively. Looks like it's a team race for them. Judovic having a lot of trouble keeping Reeves away from her. And might be rolling up a bit more on the ERS mode as well. Perez still in the back. Judovic already out of power, and now she's dropped down to 18th. There's too much traffic still keeping her away from everybody else. Looks like the engine issues are starting to show their ugly heads. And Balkan is now ahead of Judovic. So much traffic in the narrow roadways, we can't really get an overtake even with the ERS running in. And there's Norland scoring fastest lap out there. Judovic still stuck in 18th. Balkan keeping a good tight leash away on that right flank there. A bit of a jam on that side. Judovic might lose 18th to Picciani right now. Unable to keep it in the chicane. And now both of our drivers are back in the rear again. Couldn't get much to go as far as performance is concerned. Everybody else going for speed. Remember, we need to be a bit more durable than this, so we're going to have to stay around for probably 2 laps longer than everybody rather. I guess the fuel was a little too little, or rather the fuel we dumped out wasn't enough to keep our vehicles lighter. And Now there's Jordovic trying for an inside overtake, but Picerni blocks her at the last second. Up on front, Mazzoncini has taken over the lead, while Da Silva Mello is now in second. Chu has gone down in 10th. A bit of a surprise there. I guess the traffic jam caused by this narrow roadway here in Guildford has made keeping lead a bit of an issue. It's now the start lap 5, and both of our drivers are well behind. Chu has gone up to 9th, ahead of Funker, and now also ahead of Lormore. Yep, this is definitely starting to look like a restart race. Ooh, couldn't get close enough for an inside, or rather an outside overtake there. Jordovic still struggling to stay on the pipes here. Can she go for an overtake here? No! Can't keep it to go on the inside chicane. On the inside of that chicane, rather. Now we got 18 laps to roll with, and both of our drivers are still well behind. They need to get some energy runs soon, or they'll be pushed out of the race. Here's Perez going for an overkill. We're still going to be second as far as everything is concerned, but Jordovic will go down in 8th. And it's very likely that the chairman will not be happy. And so is Jordovic, so we need to get better performance for this one. Not looking too hot right now. Definitely have to restart this if we fail after the pit stop. Perez has gone up to 19th and is now behind Picerni, going for an overtake, and she is now 17th. 17 laps to go. Both of our drivers still have a decent amount of tire wear to work with, so I think that's good. But they need to get closer to the mid-pack before the change so that they can stay on the rolling. Falk has gone down 13th. Chu is stuck at 7th. Cardenas has overtaken Funker for 11th out here. Mazzoncini and Colhi are now fighting for 1st. Bingham and Da Silva Mello already down there. Current level seem a bit low there. That's understandable. We dropped the amount of fuel for both Ayals. 16 laps to go. Start at lap 8. Still no change here. Oh, never mind. We got 3 guys in the pit lane already. Bit too early for that since they were driving on super softs. But they're now going for speed. It looks like Perez is probably going to have some outbound overtakes here. That's 2 of them. Balkan and Picerni just got overtaken by Perez out of nowhere. There's Perez now behind Concliffe. Ooh, that blocking from Concliffe let Perez open, and she is back in 15th. Balkan taking advantage, snatching that in the chicane. Perez might be able to use her speed here. And now it's the start of lap 9. Both of our drivers are way higher now, thankfully. Thanks to a couple of pit changes as well. This could be enough to keep us in the run-in. It looks like the tire temperature is actually okay. So is the tire wear. That's Jordovic at 11, still trying to keep Picerni away from her. Perez has dropped down in 9th because of that overtake, but she managed to get in the inside, going back up to 8th. Can she take advantage of Lormore's carelessness there? No, she cannot. Lormore manages to come back up on the second chicane and keep Perez away from her. And now it's the start of lap 10. Both of our drivers down to 3 laps of fuel. Could be a good time to pit around the next one. And now Perez is blocked by Lormore again. Jordovic and Perez now both in the top 6, or rather top 7. We might have to put Perez in first, though, as she is down to 32% on the tires. Ooh. Dang, Jordovic with an overtake there. She takes over both Lormore and Perez. She is now in 5th. Good driving from Drudovic there, but she needs to work her way through now. As we start lap 11, 13 laps to go. Perez now up 6. Drudovic is still 4th, but Lorimore's looking heavily. Ooh! Balkan with an ERS overtake there. And now we're going for the cold, wet rain here. 11 to 12. Yeah, and we're going to keep her in softs, I suppose. That's conditions. Fix that up. Drudovic still decent on fuel, but I think we'll have to make her drive down a bit low for the time being, as we need to balance fuel. Speaking of balance, Ramsey is going for a pit stop as well. We'll have to focus on Drudovic for the time being, keeping her in one more lap of running. Oh, that was a good outside overtake from Drudovic there. She is now up to 3rd. Octane still has everybody up front, unfortunately, unless we can stop them. And now we can send her in for a pit change after this. 8 to 10. Yeah, okay, I think we'll go for super softs on this one. It's the front. Oh, wait, what? Pit change. Drudovic currently on 2nd. Guya still on top. Perez is now going down in 9th. She's dropping fast as everybody else is getting ahead of her. Five seconds ahead of Drudovic here, and I don't think we'll be able to catch up to her. And now Perez has to work her way back up just to stay in the race, though there's a good chance she might get the point she needs because there's going to be a lot of early changes soon. And there's going to be a lot of super softs that are going to be switching out in the later run of the series. There goes Drudovic for a pit change. She's now in 4th, 5th, dropping down 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th. And now both of our drivers are here in the mid lane here. And there goes Perez, now up to 12th, with Drudovic in 17th. Starting to see a lot of change here. Balkan still hasn't switched out his tires, though, which is kind of brave. Now we'll see if we can come back from this and actually get both of our drivers back on the scoreboard. We definitely need to get the better performance here because we still need to increase the marketability of our team. Either, unless we get that, we won't be able to get any good sponsors that can inject us with money for the next season. Oop, Cardenas cuts a corner. That's not a good sign. Perez has now gone up to 9th after overtaking 3 racers. Drudovic has gone up to 11th. Conservative driving here, at least. Drudovic has gone down to 12th. Cardenas has been given a penalty for that cut corner. That's going to be a bad sign for her. Drudovic now having trouble dealing with Hornblatt. Drudovic has gone down 13th. Pichani snatches the lead away from her. Or their position, or old position away from her. Ooh! Cardenas with a block there. Perez could have gone out to 9th. Or gone up to 8th, rather. But Cardenas just got out of the pit lane at the right moment. Up on front, Bingham and Coley are now fighting for first. But there's a chance that they'll be switching out soon. Drudovic has gone down to 16th because of that mistake. And she's going to have a lot of fighting to do to get back into the middle of things. Especially since most of the drivers ahead of her have switched out to soft tires. Perez just a bit more, and she could have overtaken. Ooh, they went up to 6th here. Judovic has gone up to 9th. Perez still stuck in 6th and the only one with a point right now. Oh, it looks like ooh, she's now down in 10th. Looks like Cardenas is going for a pit change again. What the heck happened there? Looks like she just went for a fuel stop or something. Here comes Perez coming in at 6th. A good chance to overtake here for the for the Frenchie. Thankfully, our tire wear and tire temperature doesn't seem to be having any issues right now as we go into the last 7 laps of the race. And now Perez has gone up to 5th. Jurovic could go up here. Just a couple more, and she can go up in stats and might get some points on the same race. But they definitely need to get higher because we also want our sponsor objective to be met. So that's going to be a real pain in the butt. Up front, Reeves and Mazzoncini might be switching out, but Goulias is probably going to keep this race on his chalkboard, and might actually stay on top. As he's now oh, that's Mazzoncini. Goulias goes ahead. Reeves and Mazzoncini are now in the pit lane. Perez has jumped up to 2nd. Jurovic is up to 4th. Going so well so far for both of our drivers. Jurovic just needs to get past Picerni so we can get a 2-racer podium for our run here. 6 laps of fuel remaining for both of our drivers mostly. Or rather, 6.5 for Jurovic, 5.5 for Perez, but that's still enough fuel. And then there's also the tires to consider, which are seemingly pretty much running on a decent amount of pacing. Let's just conserve Judovic's tires, since she's already down to 47%. Can't really risk it. Goulias is 5 seconds ahead of us, though, which is going to be a real problem. Picerni still blocking Jurovic. It's a neck-and-neck race over there. Yeah, really tough fight for Jurovic to get past Picerni, and then there's also the tire wear to consider. Uh-oh, the Silva Mello has retired. Looks like they didn't fix any of his wrong parts. Still a bit of a distance now. It's 6 seconds, and Perez manages to score fastest lap out of nowhere. But she's still well behind Goulias, a 4-second gap, to be honest. Definitely needs a lot more work. Jurovic having some trouble getting past Picerni still. Guess we'll just have to sell with this. Uh-oh, I think Picerni is going for a full push here as we approach the last 3 laps of the race. At least we can keep Perez up front with a 10-second gap, a 6-second gap ahead of Picerni. We just need to get Jurovic up by a couple more seconds, and we can probably say hello to a 1-2, or rather 2-3 finish for both of our drivers. It's just that Picerni has a better engine, unfortunately. Jurovic now down to 29% on their tires. Gonna have to push her back up to neutral. I guess we should have kept her on softs as well. Approaching the last 2 laps of the race, Jurovic needs to stay in her place at least. on. You gotta keep it in the lane for the time being, Jurovic. I need you to get out there and get some points for us. She's now down to 21% on her tires. Dang it! I don't think she's gonna keep. She's gonna stay in 4th until the end of the last lap. Perez also down on fuel. Which could put her out of the lappings unless she can stay on the road here. Very unlikely. But, well, Jurovic is about to... Oh, Ramsey ran out of fuel. Where's Ramsey? Ramsey is out of fuel and might drop out of his 14th place spot here. Well, Perez is pretty much low and she's going for backup mode. I don't think Jurovic is going to stay in 5th. Oh, rather, she won't be able to stay in 4th. She's now down to 5th. And Gulya snatched his fastest lap at the race there. Let's see if Jurovic can at least keep it in. No, she's not going to keep it there. Whew. Still, she manages to keep a score there. And she scores 6th, blocking Reeves and Lormore at the last second. A bit of a close fight for Jurovic there, but she still manages to get a score out. And that's going to be up for both of our drivers as we get a really good result here in Guildford today. Gulya snatching first. We really should have kept our both of our drivers on softs. I was worried about the tires. It's not the fuel that was the issue, it was the tires. Thankfully, we didn't have to worry about the weather. But we maybe should have really stuck to improving the softs, even though it was a wet weather road. At least they didn't get the performance they wanted, and there's Da Silva Melo, who had to retire because of mechanical issues. Bit of a shame on that one. Scrutineering, please don't tell me we made any mistakes. Yep, no rules broken, thankfully. Ow, that's gonna hurt. There's Cardenas, who suffers a drive-through penalty and goes down to 14th. And then there's Concliffe, who got demoted because of parts breaking rules. He went down to 11th. We managed to reach our sponsor objective, thanks to Perez, who is in 2nd, and Jurovic manages to snatch a point, thanks to some pretty decent tires there. We could have kept the fastest lap bonus if Gulya failed to get the fastest lap at the last second, but that's just a bonus. At the very least, we got our objectives for the day, and Watson gets her 6, or rather, Perez gets her 6 points. Though both of the Octane Racing drivers are still on top, with Gulya at 39 and Balkan in 20 with 20. Perez is down by 1 point to Balkan at least, while Jurovic is also now in double figures with 12. Pretty good stuff for both of our drivers so far. And we're still in 2nd, which is, I think, most ideal for our current season. If we go up to 1st, we're definitely going to lose everything again, so I prefer if we stuck to 2nd until the end of the season. Currently ahead of Exala Motorsport now, at least. Archer BMR has gone down to 4th, and Silva, surprisingly, is down to 10th. Zampelli is also pretty low at 8th. Sooner or later, the ERS will be filled by former Asia Pacific Super Cup teams by the looks of it. Dragon Race Team, surprisingly, is not last. Even worse, they're ahead of Silva, which is kind of a funny turnaround from the earlier seasons. Some hate against Zampelli here. Ricciani on 3rd, which is kind of annoying, really. Even with that, I think we did good at Guildford, which is one of the banes of our team, really. Always suffering from Guildford racing. Mostly because of the tires and all that. Okay, some good points up there for both of our drivers. Fortunately, Perez is at her peak and will not get any better. Happiness. Jeremy's fully happy. Our marketability went up by 3/10 of 30.33%. That's not much. At least we got some money back. Ooh, up front on... Hey, there's another hosted here. Hang on a second. Is Janik Hosted for... Oh, yeah, no. That's somebody we were thinking of, somebody else. Hosted scores 1 for the team as Scuderia Rossini scores a home win. With Hosted at 8 points, but right rounding up the podium, our Panther came out of nowhere with Koivulainen and Becker scoring a significant 2-3 finish. Although it's kind of weird that it says Becker is 1 lap behind. What the heck happened in Milan? Now, on the driver standings, both Rossini drivers are on top, with Steinman's Naito keeping them in, trying to keep them in check and failing and going down to third. The other Steinman, Tarasenko, is down to fifth, despite the fact that she managed to finish fourth in Milan today. And now Rossini is dominating and is well up on top unless they suffer some mistakes in the next few races, which is very unlikely. Meanwhile, in the Asia Pacific Super Cup, Resato Corsa scores a major dominating win here in a 1-3 finish with Nilo and Corte, while Tunisian is stuck in second for Team Kirov. Nilo also gets pole position bonus for scoring a pole in the qualifying rounds. Oh, Dubai. Ugh. Now, Resato Corsa is well ahead of the previous top dogs. Well, Kirov isn't exactly super top dog, but they were pretty high in the previous season. Although they seem to be struggling right now. Esprit showing some pretty good spirit this season and now up to fourth. Firebird MRT is not having a good time. Hang on. Check something real quick. Okay, here's the deal. We're going to be rolling in a tougher road after this, which is going to be annoying. All things considered, because it's going to be tough. Okay, let's see that. 39, 20, 19, that's in driver points. Team points, 31, not bad. As long as we can get more points up there, we'll be okay. I just want to stay on second, so I don't have to worry about promotion or demotion just yet. I wasted a lot of money building new parts anyway, so... New illegal parts, to be exact. Air condition, actually a pretty decent drop, all things considered. Oh, what do you need to accept that issue? But Perez definitely did a lot of work for that one. 2 pit stops, only 6 seconds slower. At least we had no mistakes, which is good. We definitely need to get better pit results because we're looking at some pretty bad numbers here. Murasagi. Murasagi's got some pretty good stats all around. Pretty balanced, all things considered. Mochigai and Hosogai have pretty bad refueling, though. I'm gonna have to remove somebody, but I don't want to do that. Let me swap out somebody for this. I need somebody who's good in refueling. Okay, that should be good. Toyota still needs some some resting, I'm afraid. Garbolino. Okay, I think that's good enough for now. Manage that later. No news on the front for now. We'll get a news report after the race. Oh, there it is. Sponsor offers, right. Forgot about that. 22 days before the race, almost done. Okay, who we got for us? Ooh! Ooh, haven't seen these guys in a while. Ishikawa Malt Whiskey, definitely gonna go for that. Unfortunately, their sponsorship objective is going to be a bit on the tough side. We have La Paz Telecom with an upfront of 750 and not much else. HX Telecoms with an upfront of 350 and a fixed pay of 150, or Chic Airways with a 450 upfront and an 85 fixed per race. Of course, we're going for the longer one. Not much in terms of length, since they'll only be here with us for 7 races, but it's better than nothing at this point. Hypertech has helped us so far with 6.5 million in total. They've still got 2 races with us, so that's going to be okay. HX Telecoms might be decent up. Now, Ishikawa Whiskey is the problem here. They require a first place finish if we want to get their bonuses, which is going to be a problem since our cars aren't exactly up to snuff for that just yet. So this is going to be a bit of a tight run, and I'm expecting a couple of restarts for this one instead. Since it's Tondela and all, which is going to be a problem. And now we're still down to 3rd with Octane and Ozu still ahead of us. Viability work is done. Oh, who's this? Cardenas is getting some problems with that. Oof. Not good. Yarnum should have signed up with us instead. Oh, he's almost ready to retire. Rather, he's already almost ready to end his contract with Ozu. Wonder if he's gonna be amicable to sign up with us instead. Oh, that's it? Okay, then. What else? What we got? How many more weeks? Ooh, 27 weeks! Couple more months, but we're almost there. We're halfway through the year, at least. Don't expect the road car factory will be ready then. Can't really upgrade the test track right now since it requires $12 million of investment. There's a car. Oh. Bit of a chicane and then a hairpin. A downhill and then a chicane and then the hairpin. That feels like a familiar road course. Or at least familiar road corner. Okay, our performance is 6th best on the grid, that's understandable. Staff best on the grid, staff and brand, 2nd best behind Archer. Factory 5th best. Design top. 5th best. What do you mean 5th best? We got a level 3 factory, don't we? Factory level 3. Level 3 factory, level 3 factory. Is it because of the other spots? I'm feeling like it's because of the other spots. T. Oz, Garuda, Zempeli, Dragon Race Team, Silva. Silva has great staff. They also have the best, some of the best pit crew on the road. Just that their car is garbage, and their drivers can't get the most out of that. Ability is pretty low too, which is weird. Epic gearbox. Suspension is great. There is a lot of stuff we need to be investing in afterwards. Gotta work on that. Hey, here we go. Fuel tank size is to be debated on. Series current rules mean that cars can put in up to 80 kilograms of fuel, whereas the proposed change will set the limit down to 40. I think smaller fuel tanks are a cracking idea. Will mean more pit stops and more drama, which is what the fans want to see. Unfortunately, I'm not in the mood for that. Especially not with how bad our pit crew is right now. I don't think I want to get something like that done. Okay, our current illegal parts are at 640 and 625. If I'm still in the mood for getting another engine up, our red zones all over the place. They really can't get anything good. No need to invest in another one. We're still down on options since we only have the choice to go with a great part. Since our test track is only in level 1, we can't really go up to epic. The Ardennes looks like Rossini once again getting on top, although Steinman has finally gotten into things, and now both Steinman drivers are on the podium. Although that only gives Tarasenko some points, she's still stuck in 5th. Naito only got a little closer to Balcazar, but Rossini's Husted is still on top and with a dominating lead. Speaking of dominating, Rossini is still ahead at 90. Steinman still has a lot of work ahead of them in the last 6 races of the season if they want to get back on their lines. Ooh, our sponsors are some of the worst right now. It's not a good sign. Well, we can't help it. Marketability is really low right now. Jurovic still needs to be a bit more marketable, which is going to be an issue. I don't think she can get anywhere like that yet. But she is young. There's a good chance she can still increase her marketability. Perez is going down in the stats for sure. We might switch her out with Assumpcion Leonet at this point. Although I do need Perez's paid driver ability, so she will have to stay on. Hopefully she can keep it that way, or she can keep her stats at peak and not let them drop before her time with us is up. Still need the money from the paid driver bonuses after all. Hopefully we can get another paid driver to replace her. Against. Let's just go with one. Oh, crap. I should have gone with yes. That's not good. What's it gonna be like? Fuel tanks can last up to 40% of a race distance. This guarantees the teams need to make at least 2 pit stops during a race in comparison to a championship without refueling. This costs 20,000 per race. Which is the most recent one? Was it this? Dang it! I'm definitely not in the mood for that. I think this is it. Okay, load that up. This is the autosave from after we check the mail, right? Or right before we check the mail. I am not going to spend another $20,000 on fuel. We are already having trouble with our current 80-kilogram fuel tanks. I believe done. Cardenas is still hated by her drivers, at least. Anything else we need to improve? Yeah, these. Save that. Maybe they'll change what we want. We'll need to vote on this time. No, it's still fuel. Excuse me. I don't think there's anything we can improve. Yes. Yep, we're done. Let's see if there's anything that changes here. No! Oh, yeah, there is. Looks like Tarasenko failed to score a point, and now Becker snatches third instead. When's this vote again? Couple. Okay, let's save here. And we'll use the last of our extra voting power to vote against a fuel tank change. So I feel like the chairman's gonna vote for a yes there. It's going to be annoying. Oh, we rejected them. Nice. Hey, somebody voted with us for now. What the heck's going on? I wasted my voting power for nothing. Yep, we're currently second, which is pretty nice. The next vote will be in 2 months. I don't know what they're going to be putting us through now, but I sure hope it's not too bad. 25 laps again, which means we're going to be doing another one of those 12-13 stops. By this point, I think I'm just going to stick to softs for both races, unless the tire... Yeah, the tire wear is slightly higher, but the fuel burn is the problem. Or tire wear is slightly lower, rather. And our tires are going to be slower, too. Very concerned. Yeah, even Judovic is also concerned about the tire wear. Looks like Balkan is still looking to snatch the lead from her teammate. Yep, the coffers aren't looking very healthy indeed. Chief has it right there. Hang on a second, let me just grab something to drink. Oops, sorry about that. That took a while. Had to get another set of water since the other one I have is almost out. So what's the runway here? Our current situation is a bit on the night up here, really. Since it's going to be another 25 lap race, which I think will be much like last time. Although the tire wear is a bit lower compared to the previous run, which could help us keep our driving a bit better, but the tires are also going to be slow, so there's that to worry about as well. Now, what do I want to go with? Here it is, it's Tundra time. Wet weather training? How much is it going to cost? Got a chance to attend an intense wet weather training course next month. It costs a pretty penny. We'd be able to foot the bill. It'll benefit us for the long run. Hopefully. There's still a couple more months on our contract, and there's a good chance we can make the most out of that wet weather training. I'll take the money hit. And now she gets Wet Weather Pro, which increases her skills when it's wet, which could be helpful when her starts have started going down. When her stats have started going down, I mean. We can save it from here now. We can go ahead and move on to the actual run in Tondela. No, it's wet weather time. Anybody else on the scouting rink that I need to look into? I don't think there is. What? Oh, I haven't scouted these three drivers yet. Oh, you look into them later. No smoothness whatsoever. That's annoying. We had Woodbridge in the last run, but we gotta let go of him after a couple of runs because he wasn't exactly doing as well as we thought he would. Vosu never really unlocked, or rather, Vosu kept jumping in and out as far as nursing is the nurse ability is concerned. So that kind of sucked. We should also look into getting a new race designer in the future. Some of these guys seem to be working pretty decently, but the problem is The really good ones don't want to talk to us right now because we're pretty low. Like, for example, here's Roxanne Barnard, who, as you can clearly see, has been with a lot of the veterans. And there's also the issue that she's always 54. Well, she's still interested, at least. Her most... Oh, wow, she's been around. 1995? What? Wait, the game calendar doesn't start in 1995. It starts in 2016. She was... She was let go from Nordhagen? That can't be right. Engine improvement isn't exactly up to snuff for the ERS, though, so that's going to be a problem. But she only has 2 known components. Anybody else? Yeah, the best designers are all signed up with the top team, so we can't really do anything with that right now. Ishikawa Malt Whiskey are the only guys providing us with anything, but their bonuses are much lower, 1.2 million, and they want us to finish first, which is going to be a real problem. So here's the issue now. There's a really good chance that we... There's a really good chance that we're going to restart this one, I feel. Mostly because Tondela's got a lot more corners to deal with. I forgot about that part. Here's hoping it's going to be dry for the rest of the run. Lots of acceleration for this one. A lot of downforce as well. Stick to mediums for now. The weather seems to be okay. Alright, let's see if we get this right on the first run. Let's hope we do. Right, coming out of the hairpin just outside the pit lane. I do miss the long corner, the long turn here from the APS. One of the fun layouts from the Asia Pacific Super Cup that I kind of liked because it just goes for speed. No chicanes to speak of. Setup knowledge seems to be okay so far. Still no reports from either of them, though, which is really concerning. Gearing seems just right here. That's not a good sign. They're starting a flying lap. I don't think we're going to stay on the top of the score sheets for this one. Perfect gear ratios. Yep, figures as much. Judovic is currently scoring some purples, but I think Goliaths will get some of them on top instead. Is this the current, this can't be the current, standings, right? Judovic scoring best sector again, but it looks like Balkan is about to get, the best score so far. Oh wait, Reeves just snatched best sector again. Wrong arrow setup. Medium tires are now up to level 1. Right, let's get the tires up to level 2 and then we'll switch them around. So that we can at least get some extra boosting to speed for the soft tires if we ever change to it. Alright. Ariolena has good arrows though, so it's just Jodovic who's complaining with hers. I guess we really need to give her more arrows. There's Picerni on top of the score sheet so far. We're currently stuck at 4th and 5th, might be dropping even further after this. 7:15, 7:15. Handling is spot on, so it's just the arrow setup for Judovic so far that seems to be wrong. Ariolena setup knowledge has stopped halfway through medium. That's not a good sign. Adena scores fastest sector on 1 again. Oh, there's Kohi now. Too much roll. That means we need to make it a bit softer. Right, this is going to be the last run for these setups. We'll bring them in now. And we'll switch them out. So Judovic has wrong arrow, and Adio Leonet has the wrong suspension setup. So that's something to look forward to. We probably still have enough to get both medium tires and soft tires up, at least. But honestly, I just want to get better. Okay, maybe I'll stick to just the mediums. Getting softs won't really help us much. The downforce is poor. Definitely need more downforce on that one. Okay, keep it there. Other choice, keep the same mediums maybe? Or just go up to this. Okay, handling is just okay. Definitely gonna need to make it softer. I feel like whenever they say something about the acceleration, it's the opposite of what they actually want, because every time I try to make the handling stiffer, which means it has to be harder, they say it's the wrong setup afterwards. So either I'm misreading their cues, or there's something bugged about their feedback on the acceleration there. See how early Elena goes up with this one now. Currently 8th and 9th, both of our drivers with Judovic on top. Judovic now goes up with a fresh set of medium tires. See if that's going to do anything. Chadney now fastest sector there. Probably should have enough time to get both medium setup knowledge and race trim knowledge up to level 3. So that's going to be better for both of our drivers. Only 3 minutes left in practice, and it looks like Koi is still on top of the sheets with, and well, he just came out with medium tires, so he's trying to learn both setups. Understandable, really. And now they're starting a new flying lap. Let's see how it goes. Race trim and medium tires are now up to level 3. Excellent work. Now to see how fast these guys are gonna be. Okay, Arrow setup is way better on her, on Jodovic's side. How about Ayole and Net? Nothing from her side yet. Okay, gear ratios. The gear ratios are just right. I don't need to hear that. What I need to hear is the suspension. Since you were complaining about the suspension earlier. There you go. Judovic is now in high as well. How's it on the flying laps? Nadia Lena still in 10th. Judovic jumps up to 7th for that one. Pretty good run so far. And just less than a minute until practice is over. We might get some decent returns here. Downforce feels bang on, nice job. I don't need to hear about that. I need to hear about the handling. Alright, practice session is over. Unfortunately, they're going to be stuck in the middle for that one. I guess we're going to have to stick to mediums for both runs. And we'll have to go with Judovic at 7th and Ariolene at 10th. Judovic seems to be happy with her setup so far, which is encouraging, so to speak. Now, we'll have to see if things will translate to an actual win here in Tondela today. How's it on the news? ZRT OL Sport getting some more hate in the socials here. There's also Nick Chu having some trouble. Cardenas. Pretty cloudy right now in Tondela, but not too concerning that we'll have to worry about weather changes, right? Can't quite tell from this point of view. Oh, we have unlocked Super Overtake mode. I think we'll go for these instead. Race trim and medium tires as well. Dang it! Handling was worse! I'll go with this and go to mediums. Yeah, definitely gonna have to stick to mediums. And drop the fuel by 5. Can make it 13 laps. 13 laps of fuel. Dang it. Right, yeah. Definitely have to stick to mediums for this one. We're gonna have to go for durability. We'll have to make do with that. And without the fuel bonus for Perez, she'll have to make do. Okay, auto on. And here we go. Ooh. Decent acceleration for Drulovic, not so much for Perez, but Drulovic is now having trouble with traffic in the back, putting her down in the lead. She's now down to 16th. Perez has gone down to 19th. Ozu sneaking, the Ozu car snaking through the small gaps just outside the home chicane. And now Chu is hopefully, well, Chu is on top still, but he's only ahead by 0.3 of a second from Funker. tire condition not too cold, not too hot actually. Although the tire wear might be an issue. And the fuel condition isn't exactly doing doing numbers for us right now. Jurovic getting overtaken. She's now down to 17th. Ostrop taking advantage of her gaps there. That's Cardenas at fast stop. No, that's Balkan now. Now everybody has gone for ERS. And now Jurovic has gone down to 18th as everybody else has gone for ERS. Both of our drivers once again in the back here. A bit of an issue with tire durability and all that. That ERS push-up is kind of annoying. Now we'll have to fight our way back up as everybody else is pushed ahead of us. And push ahead of us real badly. Jurovic can't get an overtake out of that, being blocked by the Archer BMR cars. Incredible traffic, despite the fact that we've used the everybody else has used ERS. Oh, I thought that was mine. See if Perez can get the thing out. Oh, wow, that's some really nasty overtaking from Perez, snatching 13th on that inside corner. Good jump for the chicane for Perez over there. But now she has her world... Oh, Kohi has crashed. That's not good. Okay, I'll put Jurovic up. And keep everything rolling on her side. But Perez will stay on 12th. No, she's up to 11th because of that crash. Jurovic will have to switch out soon-ish, so we can probably switch her out to speedy tires after this. We have to wait until the lap has finished up. Jurovic got ahead of Hornblad, who also went for a pit change, and now she's up to 18th. Perez is up to 9th, surprisingly. Safety car. I wanted a virtual safety car instead. But that was a really bad stop from Kohi there. Failing to brake properly on the home chicane and crashing into the barrier. That's going to be a really bad sign for ZRT Motorsport here. Who are possibly going to drop down to 7th. Tire wear is definitely grading because of this. Tire wear and tire temperatures, actually. Yeah, Perez is about to go down in tire temperature too. Definitely a lot of work to get those tires back up. Come on, my tires are grading, dude. You gotta get this thing back up soon. One more lap of this. Please tell me you're heading back to the garage. "21 laps to go. We spent 2 laps behind the safety. Really bad time for the safety car to arrive, really. He's not starting to speed up yet, which is kind of annoying. Come on, come on. You haven't got all day. I'm waiting on Bingham to switch out his sign so that we can switch out ours as well. Can't even get enough power in the ERS to boost things up as well. Come on, man. I hate that they still make that request to, or they still make notes about the tire temperature while you're driving in the safety, in the safety mode. Like, I keep complaining about this every time. I think you're tired of it by now, but I just hate how they never fix that. They could have done some fixes on that in the other Motorsport Manager games, but I don't think they applied it to this version. Right, safety car is just about to speed up. Bingham. Alright. See, these notifications are kind of annoying. Ah, Perez went down in 9th because of that. Right, let's get those tire temps back up, shall we? Do I have to push them? There's Perez, she is now up to 6th. Having trouble keeping it with the drivers up here. Ramsey has been overtaken. Judovic is now on go down in 19th. And she's having trouble fighting with everybody else up front. Well, we can probably afford to push our we can't afford to push our tires since we're going for another pit change around lap 18 maybe? Or, not lap 18, like lap 10, 11. Judovic has gone up to 17th, taking over both Mock and Concliffe. Perez has gone down to 8th. And Judovic needs to work her way back up so she can get some points in. Six more laps on our fuel. And now Judovic goes down to 18th as Mock takes over her position again. $18 laps to go. Doesn't look like things are going to change that greatly. But the fuel readouts on both of our drivers say 6.5 left, which could be a bad sign, all things considered. Ooh, bit of a bump up there. Perez having trouble getting past the traffic. Although that's enough ERS power to get her up front. And it looks like Funker is going for a pit change pretty early. Judovic still stuck in the back there. No, just keep driving. That was the tactic. Oh wow! What the heck was that acceleration on the on that corner? Right off the exit. Good thing she didn't crash. That was a bit risky. Judovic now up to 15th. Make that 14th if we see somebody in the pit lane. Lormore is now blocking her. Just about ready to switch out tires, maybe. Judovic now up to 14th again, after having a bit of a fight with Lormore and Reeves. There's Lormore going down. And Judovic get higher? Really tough question for that. Sponsor objective of first is a bit of a a bit of a doozy to get. "16 laps to go. Judovic has gone up dramatically, and she is now 8th, with Perez in 3rd. We're now on lap 10. We're seeing some fuel condition changes. Both of them are 4 laps down in fuel. Oof. Perez having some trouble keeping that 4th place spot to herself. Judovic has jumped up to 7th. Definitely a lot of work to be done here. We might have to switch around 11 or 12 as the fuel condition changes rapidly. 15 laps to go. Lap 11 might need to change around in a lap 12 at this point. Judovic has gone up to 6th. Gianni and Bingham still might have enough engine, or rather tire durability to survive, but I think we'll have to switch out Perez now, just to be on the safe side. Safe would drop us down to 20 seconds. Not too confident about that one. Come on. Ooh, that was a little too close for comfort. Ah, that's a shame. 14 laps to go and Perez has gone down the ranks. Judovic has gone up to 5th now. Oof, Perez has gone down really badly. Judovic will have to jump it in. How much fuel do we have left? 1.85. Okay, definitely need to change out now. We'll definitely have to restart this, though. Oh, Pichani up front. Pichani's also going for a pit change. Bit of a gap between us and the Ozu team. Bingham might be going for a drive-through, even though she's already down to 20% on her tires. Not exactly a good sign for that. Perez definitely having to... Oh, there's a mistake there. That's a really bad sign. Double mistakes, too. Now, both of our drivers are in the back. Not a good sign. Definitely have to restart this, I feel. Now up on top, that's Bingham, Goliath, and Hornblatt for the top three. We'll have to see if we can actually get somewhere close to him at this rate. Especially since Perez seems to be having trouble keeping the others away from her. That's Conclave with a faster tire all the way in the back here. 12 laps to go, and their tires aren't exactly up to snuff for durability. That's Lormore getting overtaken at least. But that's only small comfort considering who's ahead and how far off we are from our targets. Especially since Goliath has already switched out, and he's using sauce for this one. Definitely have to switch things over. Lap 15 starts, 11 laps to go. We're already seeing, we're pretty much well behind on the guys that are doing some overtakes here. Now everybody else has pushed up on the roads. Definitely looking at a restart. Those mistakes cost us a lot. But unfortunately, I don't have a decent enough mechanic that can handle better, or that can get better pit crews. I don't think anybody else is going to be switching out, even at this rate with 10 laps to go. Come on. 9 laps to go. We're still in the back. No signs of changing scores. Perez getting an overtake on the corner with some pretty high speed. Kind of scary if you ask me. Judovic still stuck in 15. Picciani up front. Funker might be looking for a pit change very late in this race. So is Mazzoncini. The question is, can we at least take advantage of that so we can at least climb up in the scoreboards? Okay, that's Perez coming up to a 12th. Conclave with an error by the looks of it. Now it's 8 laps to go, and both of our drivers are still struggling here in the back. Let's see if we can actually see some changes up front that can help us get some points again. That's Funker and Mazzoncini on the overtakes. Ooh, very close there. Hornblatt and Conclave. Hornblatt and Conclave with the block off, while also closing in on Perez's side of things. Definitely need some more ERS on the straights. Judovic couldn't keep that that outside corner overtake to herself, and she is now behind again at 13th. Yeah, definitely gonna have to change things out here. Only a couple more laps to go, though. Is there still a chance that we can actually get back up? Judovic couldn't hold her 12th place spot there. Just as well as she wants to. Bit of a shame that. 6 laps to go. Perez almost got 9th, just couldn't get past Horncliffe there, or rather Norland. Jovic is now up to 10th. 6 laps to go. Still a good chance we can actually climb up in the ranks if we can stay with the upper 6 here. At least get us to somebody who can actually stay up there. That's Norland now up front. She's signing off for a pit change, which means we can overtake her. But Judovic also needs to work here so she can jump back up to a scoring position. That's Balkan in the pit lane. I don't think we can overtake him. Perez now in 6th. Judovic in 9th. Yeah, we couldn't... Oh, where's Balkan? Balkan's in the back still. That's surprising. 4 laps to go. If we can climb up a bit higher, we can at least get some more points in. But both of our drivers seem to be ready to go. Maybe not. Judovic is still in 9th. She needs to get higher so she can also be in the scoreboard. That's Cardenas asking for a pit change. Now Reeves is keeping Judovic away from 8th. Cardenas still blocking. 4 laps to go here. Guyas has finally gotten out of the pit, and he is going for 3rd. Who's that up front? That's Kostrup. Judovic still in 8th. Definitely needs some more work with that. 3 more laps to go. Bingham still in a decent spot. Kostrup might be changing soon. He's already down to 22%. If he chooses not to change, he'll be at a lower durability than both of our drivers. Ooh, that's not good. Perez is now down on fuel. Gonna have to use the ERS a bit more here. Yep, there's Kostrup asking for a pit change. 3 laps to go here. Perez now up to 4th. Judovic to 7th. That's not good. We might have to switch things out a bit here. Yeah, we're definitely going to miss the sponsor objective, but at the very least, if we can get Judovic up on a score sheet, we might be able to get our drivers back up. 2 laps to go. Judovic is now down, or Perez is now down 21. Judovic is down to 28. Yeah, she's seeing a bit of tire wear now, which is not a good sign. We've still got a lap to go, so we have to work our way through here. Come on, come on. Just stay away from me. We've got 1 lap to go, and there's still a good chance that Hornblatt could drop down and give Judovic a chance to overtake. Well, although he's getting closer to us too, or closer to Perez at least. Judovic needs to keep Lormor away from her so that she can at least stay in the 7th spot, although that's going to keep us away from the points as well. Bingham is way too far. We'll just have to sell for points. I think we can take the chairman's hit for this one. Although it is kind of a shame that we will miss the sponsor objective. As Picerni, fastest lap, and also snatching another win. Judovic still in 7th. Not too bad. Bit of a shame that. At the very least, we still managed to get her up there. It's just that we didn't get enough fuel for the end of the race. And the tires didn't last as long as we did. We probably went a little too early by a lap for both of our drivers. Fortunately, I don't think... Yeah, we can't restart that. See our standings on this one. Scrutineering, no effects on arm part, thankfully. No changes, though. But Concliffe with another penalty. Silva Mello had the fastest lap bonus. He's still in the back there. Fortunately, we didn't hit any of our objectives, so... Nonetheless, Perez is now up to 2nd, and, well, Judovic had to go down for 7th, but that doesn't matter much because we're still 2nd in team standings. So I think the chairman will be happy about that. I think the safety car really did a number on our cars. And then there's also the issue of the pit mistakes. There were 2 of them. Uh-oh. Oh, dodgy neck. No, Chairman Happiness marketability went down. And we missed the bonuses too. Dodgy neck for how long? 8 weeks? Cripes. Unfortunately, that's going to drop our points. Can't really do much about that. We'll have to get back up again. At the very least, we're still in 2nd in standings, so that's a good sign. But we definitely have to work our way back up just to get some runs in here. 31% for both of them? Okay, let's see the interview. I'm gonna drop their marketability a bit. 3 pit stops. We broke our record, actually, but we had 2 mistakes. That's the neck problem. Doctor says not too serious, but it'll take a little while to recover. I'm still going to be able to race, but I'm not going to be myself. Fitness minus 10. Is there anybody we can replace? So the main consideration most of the time is stamina. Points, you can probably go for fairly low to fairly average. But as long as the stamina is actually 100% or so, you're pretty good. 0.6 base mistake chance, not as a good sign there. Anybody we can cut off? I guess nobody. The closest we can let go of is Kanazawa, but he is still pretty decent. The problem is his stamina is pretty low. Well, can't do anything about that. 24 weeks until the road car factory is complete. Alright, we need to get back here. Car repair is complete. Go back to improving performance and reliability. On GP in 11 days. Dodgy neck, 7 weeks. I do want to go back to Phoenix again. It's pretty much the Daytona race circuit for open wheel for some reason. Oh right, Milan. This is gonna suck. I'm not too good with Milan. What the heck am I seeing? Okay, it's gonna be another one-stop race. There's a good chance of rain. Addicted to video games. Oh my god. She admitted she was a big fan, but denied claiming the gaming was impacting her performance. It takes time, sure, but it's a good stress release. There's nothing better than busting out the computer and shooting a few people to take your mind off a bad race. Having said that, I just wish there was a game when you can manage. Okay. Okay. Oh, her overtaking has jumped up, actually, 16th. Consistency is 18th. We can probably hope that her smoothness gets up a bit higher. But with that addicted to video games thing, it's going to be a problem. Oh, reduced fitness but excellent marketability. That's going to help us. But how long is it going to last? It's going to last for 15 weeks. That's not good. Well, hype. That's going to be helpful to replace hypertech at least. 23-year-old released a cookery book. Marshmallows, candy chicanes, and undertrade bakes. Unlike my lollipop man, you'll be hooked. Desserts by Ario Lena is out now at all good retailers. Huh. Okay. Not too good on that one. 32 points behind. And Ozu is closing in on us. So we gotta we gotta do good here. Exile has gotten better than us on the engine side of things. Okay, save. I'm gonna keep Perez up because we still need the pay driver bonuses. I can't afford to lose that when we're already struggling. Although, as far as the calendar is concerned, we've only got 3 more races after this, so I think we can survive with a little more money. And hopefully, the next set of sponsors will be helpful. So we have Intro Driver. 5 weeks, I think I can keep her in. Yeah, at least should go for Ishikawa malt whiskey again. 21 laps in Milan. 11 laps, maybe? 11 laps of fuel? I don't know. We'll have to see. Feedback's good. Feedback's good. So what do I need again? Then go for mediums. Down from slightly here. Handling should Okay, speed balance should go for speed. Go for mediums, and then take practice. Let's hope we get this right on the first go. I don't think we will. They did say there was still a chance of rain. We should keep an eye out on that. Setup knowledge growth is a bit slow. That's not good. Very good chance that we made a mistake here. Kind of missed the sharp chicane before the home port. Since I don't think we dealt with that in. Oh wait, we didn't deal with that in the Asia Pacific Super Cup Milan stop, right? Maybe not. It was probably a straight run. Ugh, there's Gulyas with the lead again. No feedback from both of them, but it's... Oh, there you go. Too high. I expected as much. Nice arrow, or just the right arrow setup. Time to bring Jurovic in. Yep, Gulyas with the top there. Cherny scoring second. I think Cardenas will jump up. Oh, Molk and Koi are already up here. I need Jurovic to switch out a bit. Her arrows seem to be wrong. Rio Leonet might be in need of a change-up as soon as possible, though. Oh, handling is superb, though. It's Cardenas on top. Reeves and Concliffe also on jump-ups over there. Mazzoncini and Ramsey are slower than both of us. Both of our drivers, that is. Okay, she needs harder handling here. Downforce is the only thing that's keeping Jurovic back, it looks like. Too much downforce. Just a little. Okay, that should be enough. Let's see if this changes anything. It's gonna take 25 seconds to fish that up. She needs stiffer handling. Rio Leonet has jumped up to 5th, though. Even though she's driving in with medium tires, which I think is a good thing. Cardenas going back up on the timesheets again. She'll probably be ready to go into the pit stop after this one. Jurovic is still going out on her out lap. Alright, knowledge for the race trim and the tires. Right now at level 2, so that's good enough. Her setup's way better. Nice. Taking a while for this one to get here. And now she's in the pit lanes. Oh, she's only got green, one yellow, and an orange. Arrows that are working. Ah, dang it, I can't fix that. Understeer. Balance on top speed, maybe? No, go for speed. See if this changes anything. 5 minutes, 10 seconds in practice remaining, and we seem to be having a bit of trouble getting the right setup for both of our drivers. A lot of personal bests here, though. Ooh. Not much of a change, but 15th should be decent enough. Judovish has gone up to high set of knowledge, at least. Loving the handling. Maria Leonette doesn't seem to have anything to say so far. Maybe once she's gone out of the outlap. Race trim and medium tires are now at level 3. That should be good. Handling feels much better. That's not what I need to hear. I want to hear something more solid. Arrow's feeling just right set up. Fortunately, Elena only got 13th out of that. Probably means there's going to be some orange in there. Wonder if we need to fix some things in her setup too. Minute 30, not enough time to fix anything. I'm probably gonna try and get a Leonette in just to see if things will change. Yep, I figured as much. Speed balance was awful now. Definitely need to make it a bit more focus on our acceleration. So a bit more oversteer, a bit harder. Okay, 20 seconds. We've only got 54 seconds remaining. Let's see if we can change things from here. $38 seconds. Should be enough to at least get her out of the pit lane and into the road for at least one run. So she will have to call it here. She won't be able to get back out for another stint, unfortunately. Judovic has to sell for 8th here. We should have gotten this set up earlier, to be honest. It's kind of annoying on my part to keep forgetting to check how crucial things are. Ooh, that's pretty good on Jodovic's side of things. All purples. I wonder how your lane that's gonna feel. Handling is poor. Speed balancer is excellent and downforce is great. We just need to work on getting her handling back up. Pretty lame practice session indeed. Definitely had to. Oh, okay. Going to be rainy. Base trim and mediums still. Base trimmed and mediums, even though I feel like you can do better than that. It's the drop it down to 12 laps, just to be on the safe side. Alright, let's see if this works. If it doesn't, we'll have to restart. Perez is now 19th. He's second in the championship standings, and that was a really bad start. Looks like the acceleration is still laughably slow for both of our drivers. Nonetheless, though, Judovic managed to take advantage of some breaks in the way, and she managed to go up in the standings. And ooh, that's Perez too. Coming up to 15th because of some breaks in the back. Both of our drivers seem to be doing pretty well so far. Might have to switch things up as soon as we're able by pushing it into power up. And oh no. The other guys on the back are already fighting to get back in, taking advantage of the chicanes to get an overtake. And now that's Kostrup back up on top. Can't really get much out of everything. There goes Perez getting left behind again. Now both of our drivers are 18th and 19th. Pachadny back in 20th here. Not exactly looking too hot right now, even with the ERS and all. And they can't really get through much of the traffic. Speaking of getting through, that's Perez with an overtake ahead of Goulias at the start of lap 3. Can she keep it, though? Nope, she cannot. Getting overtaken in the slow corner there. Not only by Goulias, but by Reeves as well. Who can't really get up there. Blocked by Balkan and Goulias again. Although the ERS is giving us a bit of getting a bit more use because of all the open straightaways. "18 laps to go, just as well. Both of our drivers are still in the back. Looks like it might change up around lap 7, though. Could be a good sign for both of us. Looks like we'll also have to push the tires a bit more because they're getting a little too cold. Can't get past most of them because of all the traffic here in the back. Still not much of a breakaway. Now we're starting lap 5, and we're going to see some changes probably around lap 6 as far as the reins are concerned. Oh boy, can't really keep that in. Now that's Drudovic climbing up the ranks, up 12th, taking advantage of the hairpin. Too bad there's just so much traffic that you can't really keep it in. Oof, and she's down to 12th again. Oh, a very brave choice to go for an outside corner there. Oof, can't keep the chicane up, and now Drudovic is down to 12th. Make that 13th. Yep, this might change before lap 10. Oh, that's gotta hurt. Lormore with an intercept. Oh, hang on. With a rather brave inside overtake there. Perez still having trouble staying in 19th. 15 laps to go, and the dampness just isn't going away for a bit more. Drudovic now up to 9th after a bit of a rather crazy overtake, going down to 10th again. Still pretty decent in the rankings there. Drudovic not getting enough power out of that. She's now down to 10th again, couldn't get past Kostrup. Now Perez is in 17th, behind Picerni. Wait, what? Hello, that's 14 laps to go. It's gonna be slightly rainy there. So let's not change our tires until then. So he's gonna be damned for another run or so. Perez still stuck in 17th, Drudovic still stuck in 10th. We pushed our tires a little too far. Ooh, now she's trying to get past Silva Mello. Snaking right in the middle between Concliffe and Kostrup there. And these guys really need to keep an eye out on the actual weather loads. They're the only ones who are complaining about. Oh, Ball kind of switched out for a change. Kind of a brave choice for Balkan to switch to mediums when it's going to be wet for another set of runs. Although they might have something in the forecasting center that will show them that it's not going to be wet for long. Now Drudovic just climbed up to 7th. Ooh. Concliffe having none of that. And boosting up back ahead. Looks like Balkan might be looking to get some points out of this. Making some places before it starts getting wet again. That's Perez now at 9th, Drudovic at third place. Okay, we're gonna send Perez in now, I think. We're gonna switch her. Oh, maybe no, after this one. She still has one lap to go, I think. Yeah, we're gonna have to send Perez in now. Switch her over to Inters, I suppose? Safer. Yeah, I should have just given her the fuel lines. Pretty balanced. Do I want to risk fast? Nah, I don't want to risk fast. I need to keep Jurovic up front for another lap so that we can get Perez some elbow room. Oh, that's Kostrop with enough ERS charging. Yeah, I hear you. Oh, don't fill him up. She's low on fuel. That's not good. Gonna keep using the ERS to jump her up. It's gonna be wet the moment these guys come out on the run, so... definitely have to change this. Kinda gotten stuck a bit back there. Now Perez has to work her way back up, so is Jurovic. Here they come! Let's see if anybody up front is gonna switch out soon. Yep, there is Kostrup managing to stay as long as possible. 9 laps to go. Definitely will have to do a restart on this one because the parts didn't really do much. We do have enough elbow room for one restart today. At least one more restart. Definitely a lot of making up to do, however. He's up 14, that's Bingham, and he also has Inters on. Oh, couldn't get past that. Bingham with the block. 8 laps to go, both of our drivers are still in the back. Gonna be real wet up front. A lot more work to do and there's not enough time. Jurovic can't get past Bingham on that one. So we'll have to go for an outside overtake so that the follow-up chicane will provide some openings. Up front, some of the guys are still driving in mediums. Pretty brave choice there. Although they did leave us some openings, and now Jurovic and Perez have jumped up 2 places. Into Concliffe and the Silva Mello pitting out from their mediums into Inters. Couldn't get inside on that one, but Jurovic managed to snatch 9th by an outside corner again. Pretty good chance for her to climb up in the ranks at least. Although we definitely need to work our way back up so that we can overtake the Ozu drivers. There's still somebody up front there in the form of Cardenas, who's driving with inters and who might actually snatch a win here. Perez needs to work her way back up just so we can get some scores in and stay in second. It's going to be a lot of work to stay up in here, as we still have a lot more to go, and Perez needs to get on scoring soon. Five laps to go, and we still have no everybody else has pitted up in the back, and I don't think anybody up front is going to be switching out any tires soon unless Cardenas makes a major mistake, which is very unlikely at our current situation. Perez still stuck in 8th for some reason. Oh, Concliffe ran wide. Too bad we can't take advantage of that because that's all in the back. Come on, Perez! Bingham really blocking Perez here. 4 laps to go. Drudovic is still the only one with a point. Definitely need a lot of work just to get him out of there. Couldn't stay on that. Now she's back in 8th. Mazzoncini and everybody else up front are too far out. No choice but to push our tires up. Three laps to go. Drudovic fails to get past Cardenas. Oh, never mind, they did. No, Perez went down again. We have a lot of our work cut out for us here, and the chairman may not be happy. Not enough energy because we can't get enough speed. Gonna save up some energy for that. Perez will have to work hard here. Drudovic is now up on 3rd, or 4th rather. Definitely needs some more power. Definitely need some more firepower to get Perez up on the rundowns here. Now we're approaching the final lap. I wonder if we have enough fuel to burn for this. We need to get Perez up at least. Or at least get Drudovic up on podium. And there's not enough power to get Perez up to podium. Hang on. What about that? Yep, unfortunately, it doesn't look like Perez is going to be able to get into the score sheet. At the very least, she'll be in 7th. There's Goulias once again with Octane on the lead here. Not a bad result. I'll settle with that for now. We didn't get into the podium again, and we obviously missed the sponsor objective. But I think we can be happy with the result we have here. At least for the time being. That still keeps us in second, which I think will be good enough for next season. However, we still have 3 races to worry about, and our marketing is not exactly up on snuff here. Okay, let's see how things are on the other side. Scrutineering time. Oof. That's Hornblood with a parts penalty, and that drops into 20th. Pichierny, surprisingly, is only in 15th. Unfortunately, though, with Perez being unable to score, Pichierny is now second. And Jurovic, however, climbs up to 6th. We're still luckily in second as far as team is concerned. That's pretty good for Goliath, really. Chairman will not be happy that we didn't finish second overall. Very least. At the very least, the team standings are still steady at second, but we will lose some German happiness and some marketing points here. Jodovic's morale is down to 95. Oh, we came third. I think he still managed to get something out of that. Marketability didn't change, though. And yeah, we're gonna lose some money from that. Right, let's see what's in the news. Okay, that's good. Okay, what's on the interview? Yeah, we'll look into it one day. 11 seconds behind. They're also recommending that we change some of our drivers, or some of pit crew. Well, the offer comes in a couple of days, so I think I want to go forward. I want to send time forward a bit so we can get the sponsor offer. See who's offering. Silverdo, 8 races to 150. 150. I'll take it. Good enough for me. Fortunately, we won't be able to get anything out of it. Okay. How many more races? We got 3 more races. Black Sea, Rio, and Vancouver for the closing. Only got 21 weeks left before the road car factory is complete. Sure hoping we can keep the car rolling for a bit more. Although we are now 4th behind Ozu Vexala on the engine parts thing. I mean, I can probably design a new engine, but we're gonna lose money. So I think we're good enough for now. It's imperative that we keep the legal parts in the pocket, though. And so far, they seem to be the best setups we have for next season. We're gonna set these up soon. Time being, though, I think that's going to be all for now. Thank you so much for dropping by. It was a bit of a fight, and at least we did manage to score a podium. But we are missing a lot of our sponsorship runs, and that's going to weigh on us for the last 3 races of the season. Hopefully, it won't affect us that much, especially since we are trying to avoid facing the chairman's ultimatum and all that. And we're pretty much close to completing our investment with the road car factory, so that's going to be a happy sign. As long as we can keep above the target place of third, I think we'll be okay. We'll have to see how it goes next time, though. For the time being, if you got any complaints or violent reactions about the stream tonight, please do not hesitate to drop me a line on my Twitter or my Pixib. If you got a hankering for older streams that have already expired here on Twitch, you can always check the VOD archive linked on the About tab of my profile page and also searchable on YouTube under the same username. That's Lurk at Work. Work with a U instead of an O. By the way, if you're currently checking the VOD, thanks for dropping by. Sorry that it doesn't look like anything exciting happened. We did have some rough goings with the races, and we didn't score anything higher than third. At the very least, we're still floating in the overall team standings, which is more than I could hope for. Maybe next time you can drop by a channel and check the actual live stream so we can talk to you personally. Speaking of the channel, if you got a friend who might be interested in the stuff I stream or who just wants to complain about PNG streamers in general, I would really be appreciative if you can share my channel with them. That's twitch.tv/lurkandwork. That's all from me for now. Tomorrow, it might be... No, tomorrow's going to be a break day. I already listed that up. Unless you're new and you don't know about that, I usually take a break once a week streaming so that I can recharge and get some more ideas. Not a lot of good ideas, unfortunately, but ideas nonetheless. So that means we'll have to meet each other day after tomorrow for the next stream. Could be coming back to Red Alert and starting the Allied post-story campaign. Haven't touched Red Alert in a while, so that would be interesting. It could change at the last second, so keep an ear out on socials. Anyway, if you're still in the mood for some from some streams tonight, I can send you over to somebody who's doing a bit of a shooter run, multiplayer shooter. But if you're not and you're heading out for the night, I hope you enjoy the rest of your evening. Lurk at Work is now RGB. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see y'all when I see y'all. Good night for those who are heading out, and stand by for those who are about to be sent over.